Hello, everyone. Welcome to the podcast that rocks, the podcast that actually has no better name options that I can think of. This is a monthly podcast talking about music in long form, but also about anything else we can think of, just because it's more of a casual time for friends to get together and talk about good, positive things, terrible, negative things, and whatever else that comes to our heads. With me today are two totally different guests than last time. See, I'm already stuttering on my own podcast. First, let's introduce Mark, aka Spectrum Pulse. Mark, would you please go ahead?
Sure. My name is Mark Grondin. I'm the host of Spectrum Pulse. I talk about music, movies, art, and culture. I'm a YouTube music critic. I typically spend a little bit time outside the world of rock, especially recently, it seems like. And I also have a weekly series called Billboard Breakdown, where I go into the rampant insanity that is the Billboard Hot 100, where there is no rock whatsoever, unless you can't imagine Dragons as rock, and I don't.
No. Not even slightly.
Imagine Dragons doesn't count it as rock.
The sad fact is that you're right there. That just makes me very, very sad.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, and Crash, why don't you go ahead?
Hey, I'm Crash Thompson, and I host the Rock Critic over on YouTube. Like as the name implies, my channel is. See, I'm stuttering too, Luke. You got me doing it too. There's just no.
My name is.
Oh God. But I host the Rock Critic on YouTube. I usually do reviews on any rock releases that happen to find their way out the door, as well as shows on classic rock, some other stuff here and there. I'm actually working on a video right now on my I Love This Song series on Blues Traveler's 1994 hit Hook. So I kind of cover basically anything and everything rock, classic, modern, the good, the bad, the ugly. And
you just described Weezer's career.
But dumb Tish. Don't get me started on Weezer. I have a bad habit of talking too much about Weezer.
Fair enough. So
I've been told.
Yeah. Fair enough. So just in general, this podcast is mostly going to be talking about music, whatever else we can think of. Hopefully you guys aren't stuck in the wind tunnel that is the Central America right now. We have over 30-mile-per-hour gusts blowing people away. So
I'm here in Indianapolis, and it sounds like the beginning of a Stephen King novel. I am half expecting like the Ghoulies or something to start hopping out of the.
It's like a Disney Halloween made-for-TV movie that's going on outside right now.
Oh, yeah, that's a perfect description of it.
Mark, what the heck? Are you not getting any of this?
I am getting all of this, but at the same time, I'm on the other side of the Great Lakes, and yeah, we're kind of insulated from
that.
You lucky lake-affected bastard.
Yeah, how dare you live geographically convenient to the lakes. Great. Just to talk about some things that are going on in current music news, we'll start a little more lightheartedly. We got some cool announcements coming up. I know both of you listen to this band, Baroness. They just announced today that they have an album coming out in June, and they released the first single, Borderlines, today.
Thank God.
Exactly.
Yeah, no kidding.
We needed something to look forward to in a pretty bleak genre, and the album colors are gold and gray. It's going to be another double album like Yellow and Green was back in 2012, 2013. And we got the first single, like I just said, Borderlines. I'll put a link to it in the YouTube card in the description. Have you guys heard it yet?
I have. I think it's pretty banger. I like it so far.
I have not. I just have not had a chance to get around to it. I've heard good things, but
yes,
I gotta be honest, my timeline kind of went crazy over New Schoolboy Q, so...
Yes, I saw that too. So there's a lot of cool stuff going on with that. With Baroness, I really dig it too. It's 6 minutes. It has that Baroness feel. The new guitarist, she fits in like a glove.
Yeah.
She adds her vocals to it also. It is everything Baroness needs and then some. So that's one great positive thing we can talk about on the metal side that's coming up, because that Tool album is probably never gonna come.
See, damn it. I want to believe
you.
I want to believe.
I know Mark was right, but we've had so much silence and then a picture of all the guys in the studio with big smiles on their faces and nothing else. And that's the only glimpse we get. It's like, okay, so is recording done? Does that mean someone else mixes it and not Tool, so that way we can actually get it on a timeline?
The last I heard about the Tool album is that it's in at least the somewhat final stages of mixing. Like,
Okay.
Maynard has his vocals down. The band is mostly settled on their instruments. They're just in the studio hashing process. They're mostly in the mixing phases. Though that doesn't mean anything. Tool is also a band notorious for taking entire albums and just saying, no, we don't like it. Fuck it. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye. Flush it. So, I don't know.
Whatever.
I just...
Tool is going on tour. They've gone on a small arena tour after Welcome to Rockville through the Midwest and a few other cities. So it's promising that way that they're at least going to be doing a more touring this spring.
You know, if nothing else, that's definitely a positive. If they're just going to sit on ass with this new album for so bloody long, the least they can do is throw a couple of shows at us. That's at least something.
Okay,
yeah,
so
you have to ask the question whether or not they're actually going to manage to put stuff along the line in the show. They might use it to try out new songs, because I know A Perfect Circle did some of that, didn't they?
Yes, they did. And it worked really, really well, too. Like, the first song, The Doomed, came out at least 5-6 months before the album.
Mm-hmm.
So you never know.
Exactly. You know what?
Especially with Tool.
If that's what it breaks down to, that's fine, because the product of the material was worth it, in my opinion. However, we still have no new information, and we're in the same state, and every joke and meme we've seen about Tool is the exact
still
same.
True.
It's really getting to be the Duke Nukem Forever of rock music at this point. It's just we've been waiting on it.
It better not turn out like the final product.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'm thinking it'll be better than that. Then again, most things are.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just, like, what else can we say? But is it coming out at this point? Just...
I think the biggest issue is that it will never live up to any expectations.
Yes, exactly.
That is part of it too. Like, with not even a second of new material to judge and base it on, I don't think it'll live up to the expectations either. My personal opinion, Lateralis is the best, but at the same time, you can still make a great album and not have to be better than Lateralis.
Yeah, I mean, and plus, again, it's the whole, the buildup has been building for so bloody long. Nothing short of an album that causes world peace is going to live up to the expectations we've built for it. So,
and let's be honest, a lot of fans are going to step onto the stage, and even if it's not the greatest thing ever, they will say it's the greatest thing ever simply because it has been so long. Stockholm Syndrome. It's basically Stockholm Syndrome at this point.
That first weekend, I mean, I just predicted now that first weekend when the album finally does come, every form of social media will be nothing but that.
Nothing but Tool. It'll be nothing but
new
Tool.
Memes, new links, new everything. Yeah, so hey, you know what? At least we'll get it. At least then we'll have something.
And what if they only choose to put out a greatest hit CD with like 2 new songs?
It's just it's just like a live cover, like their live album, and that's it.
Oh, that would hurt. Just thinking about that hurts my soul.
Maynard is a troll. Let's be honest here.
Yes,
that would be something he would do.
That would be a very Maynard thing to do. I agree.
Acoustic album, acoustic live album, and just like one new song. And I don't think even he could survive that much hate. I think even the Tool fans were like, okay, you know what? Where do you live in Arizona? We're burning the vineyard. We're burning down your vineyard.
We're coming for the vineyard, you bastard.
Let's see you get drunk on your crap wine now. I've never had his wine. I don't even know. Anyway, so Tool. So we have Baroness, Tool. Hopefully, 2019 is shaping up. There's a lot of other new stuff coming out. I mean, every band you can think of almost is coming out.
To be fair, I haven't seen a lot of real turds get released thus far this year. At least
I haven't either. Same here. It hasn't been an explosive year just yet, but there hasn't been so much. There hasn't been it wasn't quite the stank year we had last year where, it started out with Mania and then it felt like every other month, it felt like there was another, oh God, why album.
Every other month we had more Beep Boop and we had even more reasons to really give up on a lot of bands that we used to love.
Yeah. See, 2018 was just unbelievably bad as far as that goes. Thankfully 2019 is shaping up not to be much more potential, but hey, I don't know, most things are better than 2018 was last year, at least as far as most rock releases were related.
I agree. Only way to go is up. I mean, you can't
Yes.
possibly dig yourself out of that hole and make it deeper. So,
But let's be fair here. There's been disappointments in 2019 here too.
yes, but I don't
I'm
think
not
I feel like it hasn't been that catastrophic of disappointment so far.
Okay, my
Yeah.
expectations with him Temptation album were maybe too high, but
Okay, that's the thing. See, I liked it fine, but I admit, with Them Temptation, you are a way bigger fan than I am. I mean, I like the band too. So.
Yeah, I didn't have it. I didn't have any major qualms with the new Within Temptation, but I'm not as dyed in the wool as
Right.
them as like Mark is.
Mhm.
Like that, I've only heard like three or four albums here and there in passing,
Yeah.
and it was okay. It was
but to be fair, Crash, you had to deal with the Black album.
yeah.
Crash,
okay.
are you
know,
still
that's the
recovering?
thing.
Are you
Even-
still recovering?
See, that's the thing. Even with me, with the Black album, it's not even that it's bad. It's just so disappointing.
It is bad.
boring.
Yeah,
Is
and
it,
we all.
is
Yeah.
it boring or?
It's very boring. It's
Okay.
very unenergetic. It has a lot of bad ideas on it. It goes in a lot of bad directions. It feels.
Huh.
And plus, like I say, it feels like an album that the band had absolutely no confidence in.
Mhm.
They just.
Well, after the surprise Teal album, which was the covers album, which I thought was actually a pretty good idea to do as a surprise. Now they have this. I'm seeing Weezer in a week and a half live. I'm wondering how much of the new material they're going to be playing outside of the covers.
Oh, actually, I discovered. I actually retweeted something either yesterday or may have been early this morning. But I actually someone actually went to a live show here recently and tweeted their set list by color. They actually put what albums,
Okay.
what of their colored albums, how many songs showed up from each one. I think the new album. What was scary was Black Album had one song off of the entire set list.
That's
Just one.
crazy, considering it's a headline show. Yeah.
Teal had 3. So that just it's almost like they released the Teal album as a preemptive apology for the Black album. It almost feels like it at
Then they
that
got the
point.
order mixed up. Then they probably should have put out the Black album first, then put the Teal album out
Yeah.
a couple weeks later just to regain the good public buzz.
I
See,
agree.
that
That
no,
would
what
have been
I-
way better.
See, but no, I get what their strategy was here. They wanted to release the Teal album to get people to say, oh, hey, silly Weezer. Oh, silly, memey Weezer doing a nice, funny, friendly meme. Oh, silly Weezer. And then the Black album comes out like, huh? Oh, okay.
I'd
Well,
rather
you're
have.
still silly Weezer.
I'd
I
rather-
still have Toto stuck in my head thing. Oh, silly Weezer. Oh.
Okay, if Weezer gets too silly, you get Ratitude. So
See? Exactly.
yeah, you got to
So-
rein him in sooner or later. So I agree.
Mm.
I do agree with Mark. If the surprise Teal album would have come out a month after the Black album, that totally would have sparked a lot more buzz and positive gain for Weezer, especially for the tour.
But I think my other big issue is that I think the cramming of the both releases so quickly together in 2019, that to me
Yeah.
is really reckless.
Oh, absolutely. Especially since Weezer, as I've gone into great detail about in some of my previous videos, is a band that when they cram themselves, when they overexert themselves, when they work too hard and just try to pump out new material, gotta stay fresh, gotta keep going. When they work themselves too hard, they suffer so badly as a result of it. Some of their worst albums are a result of them just putting out shit on a yearly basis. Just what can we do? Weird ass pop album. Okay, we're sellouts now. Okay, that didn't work. We'll do like a weird album where all the other guys will sing. Okay. No. It's a new year. We got to get the Jackass guys. Let's get Johnny Knoxville in here. We'll get him to sing along to our stuff. It's fine. I need a break.
Rivers,
See?
Rivers, are you on cocaine again?
Yeah. See,
Well, yes,
Whoa,
because-
California snow. I mean, they straight up closed the Black album with it. So
Man, I was more on point with that comment than I thought. Okay. So we have, so Weezer just came out with something. We had albums like Bring Me the Horizon, Fever 333, which I really liked. We had some
So
stuff
did
came
I.
out. Yeah.
We had the
Yeah.
Dream Theater album.
Dream Theater. I actually
It
did
was-
get to listen to it finally. I thought it was fine.
so did
liked
I.
it fine, yeah.
I'm in about a fine with that
Yeah,
album
same.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was fine. I liked it.
It's Dream Theater. They're still
Exactly.
out there. They're still doing their thing. They're still
It's-
pretty decent, but
It's bite-sized Dream Theater also. It's not 2 hours long.
yeah,
Thank
that was weird. That was
Yeah.
super weird, but
It was.
I'm not complaining necessarily, but hey,
Oh, you know what? I would prefer bite-sized Dream Theater if they had opted to actually have melodies, not doing the gent thing.
They did a lot. They did play a little bit more with the guitar play. I didn't mind it. It's just it was fine. I don't know how else to explain it like really quickly. It was fine for what it was.
Yeah. Exactly, and I feel like I did feel like they were trying to sort of just make a gesture towards the things that are going on in modern metal today. But I mean, they're Dream Theater; they got a formula they can't deviate too far away from. So,
right.
I completely disagree with that. I'm honestly, at this stage of their career, they can do whatever the hell they want. Their legacy is secure.
I mean, touche. Yeah. There's I mean, Dream Theater fans are some of the most rabid, like, people love Dream Theater the same way people love NASCAR. Like, they are just absolutely devoted.
Talk about apples and oranges for fan bases, by the way.
No, but like Dream Theater fans are crazy intense for their love of Dream Theater. I genuinely think that Dream Theater could release a new metal album and Dream Theater fans would still be up in arms over it. It'd still be a 5 out of 5 on most fan sites.
Okay.
Depends if there was eras where they got close to that. But Crash, one quick thing for you. I saw you fell off the wagon when it came with Marianas Trench.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what kept holding me out for so long on that, but yeah, I picked up Phantoms just because I was scouring new releases, and I remember Mark, you mentioning that band for a little while now, just here in passing. But yeah, I finally just okay, Phantoms. What is this? And I was pretty blown away, actually. I really enjoyed it. And, then I went around and saw reviews and saw a lot of people saying, well, it's not as good as Astoria. And I was like, oh, really? God, this Astoria thing must be really good. Let me look it up. Whoa. Okay, yeah. I'm on board with Astoria. I'm on board with Marianas Trench. I'm late to the party.
I haven't listened in years. I fell off unintentionally many years ago, but I loved what I heard way back in the day.
Oh yeah, that's about to say so good. Like I'm hoping to get to Phantoms in a catch up quickie here. I didn't get the chance to get to it timely, but yeah, I got things to say about Phantoms, especially from my new rookie green as hell perspective. But yeah, I'm eager. I'm pumped. That's probably one of the first really big album of the year contenders. I think, apart from like maybe Fever 333 for me at least. Like that's one of the albums I've listened to that I'm like, ooh, yeah, I'm gonna be listening to this all the way up to December. Like,
nice.
That's a clincher. For me at least.
It's a good feeling when you finally find something is going to stick with you for a while. You don't have to shelve or put away, so to speak. Even though we don't have physical copies of anything ever anymore.
I've got 2 albums this year that's in that category. So
okay, nice. So there's so many other things coming out too from big names. Yeah. I mean, Megadeth, Deftones, Slipknot, and the true kings of metal, AJR, all coming out with new albums this year. That's right, gentlemen. I went there. I just lost 5,000 subscribers after that joke.
You just lost my respect. That joke,
the thing is, you're not going to review it.
I said the only way I would review it is if nothing else comes out that week, that week or month. Or that week, I should say.
That week or month. Dude, I'm with you there. I'm begging for a mulligan. Just give me anything for a mulligan on that.
If a patron requests it, I will review it. I know it's going to get radio play. It's going to get radio play, and that's the thing. Yes. I'm trying to up how many album reviews I do, even if they're written. But I want to do at least 3 album reviews on video every month from now on, no matter what. And if I have to, I will do that one. I finally, after many months, listened to that AJR album once all the way through the click. And I'm never doing it again. Never again.
Dude, both me and Mark warned you about that. So
you did. And the reason why is when I found out it went gold.
Oh, it did?
It sure did. It sold like crazy. The kiddos love that crappy, weird, modified digital saxophone and being called a sticky pickle. Yeah. What I just said is factual. That's
I'm
not
cringing down to my soul right now.
Yeah, I agree. So all the albums we love can't go gold. Well, these 3 brothers who think themselves hilarious got it.
And
See,
like to masquerade that they're not a major label product. Oh, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a product, all right.
Surprise, surprise.
If they didn't have a formula before, they're gonna stamp that formula all over their music from now on too.
Pretty much.
Anyway, okay, so I brought the mood back down. Okay, let's see if we can let's change things up a little bit. In the news recently, we've had a little bit of updates on one rock. How do I describe him? He's not an icon. He's okay. Yes, I was going to say. Yeah. I was going to say he's not an icon. He's not a legend. How would I describe him?
A smudge mark on the face. An addendum to an addendum to an addendum to an addendum.
Why didn't I think of this? He's a stain on rock. Aaron Lewis of Stained. So exactly. So what's going on is this, I believe, is the third show in the course of a month, maybe a little more longer than a month, where he has completely stormed off stage of his own solo shows, not getting enough respect from his audience.
Oh yeah, he has this tour, this solo thing that he's doing, and
it's a country solo thing, and that's why I'm glad Mark's here, because I think, if I'm correct, Mark has listened a bit more of Aaron Lewis's twang, so to speak. Is that a correct way to put it, Mark? Aaron Lewis's twang?
The sad thing, and I'll say this, because I didn't review his solo debut country album, but I know enough people who did, and I did hear a few songs from it. I don't think it's terrible. I'll say that right now. It's fun. It's not bad. It's not great either. He's got this weird depressive angle to him that is just completely unconvincing.
Him? Aaron Lewis?
Dude, he comes from Stained, for God's sake. I would expect I would be surprised if it were the opposite of that.
But the thing is that the writing is a little bit more fitting to the neo-traditional style of country that he's making. And honestly, the indie country blogs gave him not a pass, but more of okay, you're doing better than when AJ McLean decides that he wants to come in and come from Backstreet Boys and say, I'm going to disrupt country.
Oh.
So Aaron Lewis, you at least respect what's going on. We'll let you do what you do. We aren't going to care that much. But again, it's better than when Steven Tyler came in and tried to make a country album too, because that happened.
I remember that.
I remember that too.
Yeah.
That was abysmal.
Oh, it was.
That was really bad.
But I'll say this. The indie country blogosphere had a field day with this whole thing.
Yeah, I'll bet.
So has it been going on too in that realm? Where it's talking about, first of all, went to Texas somewhere, really, or maybe it was Mexico City, somewhere along that line. He literally screamed at the fans, the people that paid to see his show. He finally, with his last line, got fed up and said, "Sorry, I only speak English."
Well, he was playing, I believe, in a border town in either Texas or Arizona.
Yeah, okay.
But the thing is, it was a border town. 90% of his audience was Hispanic.
What do you get out of saying that? What do you get out of it?
Yeah, man. It's Texas. It's the American Southwest. A lot of Spanish speaking. That is one of the biggest Spanish speaking.
That's our most bilingual zone of America, and we don't have many bilingual.
Yeah, and just the fact that it was the most shitty grandpa ass grumpy thing.
Grandpa Aaron.
No, grandpa. Why don't they speak the American? I don't like. Why is your food so spicy? And I don't like it. He sounded like every shitty racist grandpa. Just.
Now, the fun question here is that, given the response that he's received with Stained, Stained was never a mosh pit band. They were never, never exciting. And to be fair, I don't know if he was expecting more of a turn up at a country show because playing slightly more upbeat music, and he's just not getting a response because he's the guy from fucking Stained.
Yeah, that's right.
You have to wonder whether, and this is the question: was there an intoxicating substance of some kind?
I'm banking yes, because this is a pattern of behavior now. 3 times it's happened, and this third time that just happened. What was it? A couple days ago, he stormed off because the crowd was too loud at his show.
See,
you've got to be kidding me. How is that the one thing that sets you off and says you have to cancel the show early?
See, the whole thing about Aaron Lewis's most recent tirades is that the thing is, speaking as someone who's been on stage in that capacity in some, who's played for crowds that can sometimes get loud and rowdy, and sometimes shit happens like that, and some there are instances. I was actually doing research leading up to this podcast, and I looked up. I decided, since I knew this was going to be a topic, I looked up a bunch of instances when bands stormed off stage. And sometimes an artist does have a legitimate reason to do that. Nickelback actually has a story of them storming off of their stage like 2 or 3 songs into their set
because they got stoned. They had rocks thrown at them, right?
Yeah, they were having rocks thrown at them.
Totally different. If I was Nickelback, I would have stepped off the stage too at that point.
Yeah. See, it's something that there was this. I actually retweeted this last night while I was doing the research. There is this beautiful, wonderful piece of art of Billy Joel freaking the fuck out during one of his shows. Basically, it was because he had a documentary film crew filming the crowd and actually getting in the way of the show and really frustrating people like that. When you watch the video, he's going bonkers, but it's for a fairly legitimate reason.
Yeah.
The camera crew is ruining the show. They're getting kind of dangerous with the way they're setting things up. He's getting pissed because it's ruining the effect. But, oh God, just watching him, not only does he scream and shout and holler and throw his piano, and he breaks a freaking mic stand. He kicks one of the camera guys off the stage. It's like I said, it's a thing of beauty. A lot of
Radke was born.
Ronnie Radke was a little toddler in the crowd saying, "That's what I want to do someday."
I'm quoting Mark Berman there because he wanted that response. I don't give credit.
No. That's a perfect line. But I'm just saying, a lot of metal bands could take a note or two from that Billy Joel performance. Sorry, but
you see, you bring that up, and then we have to go to the other side of this. And Crash, I know this is going to hurt.
Oh no!
When Billy Joe Armstrong had his little episode of the
that's
2012.
That's the opposite side of the coin. A lot of times, though, stuff.
Yeah. And that was the peak of the Uno Dos Tres days too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was again. Even that, there's a somewhat of an explanation behind it. The band, they had been working themselves way too hard. Billy was having, substance abuse issues. That was the culmination of a lot of other negative elements building up to an apex. That was the peak of a storm that we didn't get to see brewing until it finally hit that moment.
Oh, I don't know. I think we could have seen that coming. We heard Dose.
Touche. Yep. But I mean, from a general perspective is what I mean. But no, that's the well, even in some of those cases, there's at least some kind of justification. Aaron Lewis just has to stick up his ass.
Yeah, I agree. He's not as successful and popular as he once was.
Yeah,
and that's
there is no reason for him to be freaking out like this on a country tour. From what I understand, he's just doing this for fun. This isn't even a project that he's...
Doesn't sound like it's fun.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like... He sounds like he's having a real blast with this, but... Yeah, it's... Just,
and also, the side news of that, he's also gone on and said, in an interview, that it's possible Staind might be making a return in 2019 or 2020.
Oh, God, I hope not.
Why? I doubt it, honestly.
I doubt it, too. Why? No one's asking for that. From what I understand, the other band members that are active with Staind, if that makes sense, don't care.
Yeah, isn't there a guitarist in a lot of other projects right now? I've heard he's doing something else.
I don't know what they are, but I'm sure they're better than what Staind can make in 2019.
Yeah, I have to say, whatever those guys are doing, I promise you, it's better than spending months and months on the road with Aaron Lewis, especially in the grumpy, especially now that he's
him just watching Fox News on the tour bus from city to city every day.
Yeah, I mean, especially now that he's become just the grumpy grandpa of nu metal.
Yeah,
who needs that? Who the hell needs that, man?
Back in my day, Fred Durst had respect.
Okay, that's not even slightly true.
Okay. All right, Aaron. All right. We'll get you some tea. Please knock it off.
Yeah. Okay, Grandpa. It's okay. Grandpa's just Grandpa's had a little bit of Grandpa's magic medicine, and he's
got to go sundown.
Yeah. Just let him have a nap. Let him talk about Mud Shovel for an hour and a half. Just let him keep
his magnum opus, Mud Shovel. So, I mean, we have so many hissy fits to talk about in rock and metal and all that's gone on throughout the years. You talked about Billy Joel, Billy Joel Armstrong. There we go. Just combine them all together. And then we talked about here, Aaron Lewis. Another one that always sticks out in my mind was like about 3 years ago, when Wes Scantlin was trying to like get Puddle of Mud back on the road. It felt like every 2 or 3 weeks, either his band was abandoning him on stage or he was ending the show early, screaming at fans. And this was back when Wes was really messed up and admittedly on alcohol. From what I understand, he is sober now. He's trying to get things back together on the right way. But like for a while, he was out of control.
It's nice, especially after I remember, especially in 2015, 2016, like you mentioned, those stories would pop up like almost every week. Yeah. It would be something new. A DUI, arrested in an airport, drunken brawl, loses consciousness on stage.
And that was before the concerts too. Like then he'd go on stage and start screaming at the fans. And I'm not talking like, hey, seeing people get in fights or it's just getting too rowdy. No, like literally calling out fans, telling them they're ugly, how he's better looking than people. It's all videos online and it's just the most maddening stuff.
It's so depressing watching that shit too, because
it is.
Like, especially that one video where he goes on some rants and then the band gets fed up and they walk off about 30 seconds to a minute into his tirade, and then he just keeps going for a while. Eventually the room cuts the mic on him, and he still keeps talking into the thing, and
he probably didn't even know. He was just in his own world at that point.
See, but here's the thing, I actually I thought about a lot of this, and you have to ask your question why they get to this point.
Yes,
and
exactly.
And the thing is, because I don't think entirely, you can't always blame substance abuse or
mental
illness or just sheer rampant egotism. Like, keep in mind, a lot of these tours, you're not getting sleep.
Yes,
you're not eating well. It's not a good situation. If you're talking about Wes Scantlin touring for Puddle of Mud in 2015, 2016, they are so far past their prime.
Absolutely,
and crowds probably aren't looking the way they should. They certainly don't look like they did back in 2001, 2002
when they were touring with Limp Bizkit and doing all that stuff. Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah.
And if you haven't learned how to age gracefully with your music, then that's crushing. That's existential.
Yeah. See, that's being on a Puddle of Mud tour especially these days, sounds like a very unenjoyable prospect. Just on its own without any outside influences. I mean, that would suck in and of itself because you got to play Control every night,
Yeah.
Like just that on its own doesn't sound like fun. They got to throw in any other problems you might want to throw on, any other stuff that could just go wrong on it, that does and often can go wrong on any tour. Throw that in with Wes, with his own personal problems. And
can you imagine being the bassist or drummer that's touring with Wes and having to play Psycho every night in bar and grills? They're not big venues; these are smaller places too.
Yeah,
every night. And I agree to a certain point. You can't just always blame substance abuse. You can't always blame mental illness, egotism, things like that. However, there are bands that deal with bad road conditions also, and they make it work. So I don't know if it's always road conditions, but it's a combination of some of this. Wes was obviously very messed up when all that was happening.
Yeah.
Aaron Lewis, I don't know what his problem is.
Yeah, exactly. I can understand how frustrating it can be to play in a TGI Fridays and the jalapeno poppers are going over better than your band is. I get that.
Oh my god.
I get that. That's a frustrating prospect for anybody. But Like it, like
the waitress goes on stage and asks where table 5 is.
See, that's cruel. That's just
that is cruel. I would have a hissy fit at that point too. I would be king hissy fit if that happened to me. It would be fair.
That's that. There's a point of understandability there. I mean, I've played in venues like that before.
Yeah, and that's fine.
It's being on that side of it. But again,
when you go from playing 15,
coming back to Aaron Lewis, who has, like I say, the response to his shows has been the response to his solo country music has been probably better than I would certainly expect. People seem to dig it, and the shows where he hasn't had a giant crybaby crap fit about the stuff, apparently people seem to enjoy it. So again, life is beautiful, dude. Life is a joy compared to what you could be right now. I mean,
yeah, it's true. I mean, I don't understand the concept of it too, because he's proved, like, I've seen Stain live back in 2014. He is an exceptional guitarist. That is not him handing the guitar to someone else in studio or let another person on the road with him do the work. He plays. So it's not like he's completely untalented. Like, he's king of the hissy fits now. I mean, it just keeps happening. He's having these old man tantrums, storming off the chaise halfway through the show. I don't know if they refund or not at that point, because it's not like the technical difficulties or weather or something like that. The artist refused to play.
Let's depends on the promoter. Because, like, remember back in like 2000, I want to say 2002, 2003, when Scott Stapp of Creed was so screwed up.
Yes,
he couldn't.
That happened to him too. Yeah.
And
they did offer some refunds at that point.
I do remember that.
Yeah, actually,
and those were big shows too. Creed was still selling out like 15,000 seat venues and things like that at that time.
Oh yeah, like by the end of that tour, I'm sure you all know about this little story, but by the end of that tour, Scott showed up to a show so fucked up, so incoherent and unable to stand on stage, so messed up that the crowd sued. The crowd
in Chicago. It was Chicago. I remember it. He was rolling around. I know, right? He was rolling around like I'd ever reading the magazines and like looking online, because the Daily Show even did a report on it. Like, he was literally rolling around on the stage while trying to sing.
Yeah, and
can you take me higher is not a song for that.
That's a bad batch of mushrooms.
Oh yeah.
That actually does.
Whiskey.
That's a bad forest of mushrooms. That's a lot more than just like a couple genics. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that totally sounds like that's bad mushrooms. That's cheap scotch.
Yes,
and that is at least 3 Xanax over the line.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Poor Mark Tremonti. He does not deserve that. He doesn't.
No, I agree.
You know what? Mark got his. Alter Bridge eventually happened. Tremonti eventually happened. Mark had to climb. Mark had a pretty big hill to climb early in his career, but he got over it. God bless
he earned his stripes the hard way. And you know what? He still has all the skills from the Creed albums too. So he came out unscathed. So do the other guys from Creed too, Scott Phillips and Brian Marshall. But I still stand by poor Mark Tremonti. He had to deal with so much.
Although the one thing is that, and this is, again, I'm probably giving the frontmen of these bands more credit than they deserve. But when you're on such a massive stage and your inner ear monitors go out, or you're stuck with, or you have a stage
that's always understandable though.
That could push you over, especially if you have any sort of moving stage. You just get disoriented.
Yeah, that I understand. Well, I would get.
Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned earlier, like not every single artist meltdown is like, oh, he's being such a drama queen.
Right.
Sometimes they totally are, but
it's not. It's not always Axl Rose.
Sometimes,
Oh, the whole Axl Rose thing. The whole Axl Rose.
Okay, no.
Axl Rose might be king of the hissy fits. Let's be honest.
You say, the Axl Rose thing, dude. Which one?
I know. Dude. He was in St. I always that was always remembered because in St. Louis that was like arguably his biggest one, when like he played the first rock show, an actual real concert in this new venue, and it got almost destroyed. Because he left after 2 songs on the mic, because there's been documentaries about it saying, well, because security's so bad here, show's over. And then that was it.
Oh,
And
that
then-
happened in St. Louis.
It was in
Yeah.
St. Louis, yep.
Uh-huh.
And like literally fans were picking up the seats they were in on the floor, like the floor seats, and throwing them on stage. This was a new venue. I'm talking 2 weeks old at best. Brand new, and it got obliterated. Guns N' Roses did not come back to St. Louis until 2016, and that was like in 92.
Dude, would you want to come back to St. Louis after
Not after that, yep. Nope,
Dude,
nope.
that is a lot of angry ass Cardinals fans, man. I would not want to put up with that.
And we're happy. We're happy baseball fans, and that's how bad he pushed us.
Okay, so fun point there. We have the Axl Rose stuff we can go on about. And Crash, I know you've tried, like I saw a couple of your tweets about what happened with Slash.
Yeah. Oh, Slash himself has been in a few interesting situations too. Like that one show where apparently Michael Jackson brought him on to play the solo for. Well, he originally plays the solo for Black and White on the track itself, right? Brought him on stage live for one of the performances, and I love it. It's the biggest dick move you can make, but it's so just flamboyantly, I'm a dick and I don't care. You almost have to respect it because Slash just starts playing his solo, and then his time for the solo ends, and he keeps playing. And Michael is it's such a funny clip because Michael is literally rage dancing to cover.
Yep.
He's like so pissed off and he doesn't know what to do, so he's just like, "Come on!"
I wouldn't know what to do with myself either. To be fair, I would have no idea.
Dude, come on! Like by the end of it, he is like absolutely livid. Security starts surrounding him, trying to get him to stop, and he's literally kicking them away. Well, I don't know what on earth inspired that particular. Does that count as a breakdown, or is that
I think it counts as the massive egotism that was really in every member of Guns N' Roses.
Oh, Guns N' Roses!
Yep.
That counts as Guns N' Roses. That is a whole other category.
They are
of
a
itself.
unique entity, to be fair. And when we talked about the different factors that could include hissy fit breakdowns, egotism is the key factor for Guns N' Roses back then.
Okay, well let's flip the script again a bit and go to a little bit more of the indie side. Are either of you guys familiar with Waves?
I know the name.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Waves, and I know what story you're going to tell here too. It's a good one.
I do not tell it.
Are we talking about the one? Oh, because there's two stories. The one that came out, I think I want to say back in 2011, is where he was the fist fight that he got with the rest of his band members on stage.
Oh yeah, I heard about
because there's that
That's
one.
a good one.
And then there's the I want to say either 2016 or 2017 one where he went on an extended tirade saying that he doesn't want that if there's any Republicans in the audience, they were to get out now.
Wow, I didn't hear. Well, granted,
that's
2016 was a pretty volatile political year for us here in the States, but
yep.
Even I gotta say, you're not gonna win many fans.
You're pushing it too far.
Yeah, dude.
You could give your own opinion on the political side. Everyone 16, whether you wanted to be political or not. But at the same time, you don't preemptively go, if you don't agree with me, then you can get out.
See, yeah, I'll bet that went over like a ton of lead bricks.
Well, the funny thing is, I remember our buddy John over at ARTV. He actually did a video comment discussing a lot of that, so that's how I remembered it.
Really? Yeah. See, I must have totally missed that. I do not have any recollection of that, but
that's okay. Waves isn't that good anyway.
See,
I've only heard one or two songs on Sirius XM, and that was a while ago too. So I can't be missing that much.
You're not missing a ton, really.
Yeah.
It's actually on the subject of indie and smaller freakouts, I've got a great one. As far as this, okay, you guys want to go back to old bands that aren't relevant anymore? The Ataris? Does anyone remember?
I remember the Ataris. I thought they were trying to make a comeback not too long ago.
They were, but I
yeah,
I can understand why it didn't take off. Apparently their lead singer has some attitude problems here and there, but one thing in particular, I believe it happened in 2011 or 2012, somewhere in there. Mm-hmm. There used to be video footage of it, but it's been taken down everywhere I tried to look for it. But one night, again, it's one of those situations where it's like half, kind of understandable because something very unfortunate pushed him over the edge, but his reaction to it was like a level 6 problem and he threw a level 12 reaction at it. It's just the Ataris were playing a show, and their drummer gets off the beat. Like he's off the beat. He's throwing
that's every
off.
other show for every tour ever. That's going to happen.
Plus every Metallica thing ever.
Well,
right.
That's just not the show either. But yeah.
Well, no, it can be frustrating. It's, obviously that's understandable. That in and of itself, you could at least make the argument, oh, well, that's a legitimate reason to get mad. Drummer, keep, that we pay you to keep a good beat, keep a good beat. But, so he gets flustered. What he does, though, instead of going back to the kits and maybe giving him a good scream or signaling to, him in the back, hey, you're off or anything like that, he takes his guitar off and basically just fastball chucks it at his head. And
I think that's assault.
Yeah. No, he like takes his guitar. Like I say, there used to actually be like video of this, but he takes his guitar and just launches it at the guy. Thankfully, he ducks out of the way. That probably would have taken his head off if it had hit him. But he takes his guitar, throws it at him. The drummer runs away, but as he's running, a dude actually takes parts of the kit and starts chucking all of that at him too. Snare, like hi-hats. He takes up the bass drum and just two-hands the thing at him. It's just literally tearing. It's basically when, the punk rock band destroys their instruments on stage, except it's the least cool reason ever to be doing that.
And it's not at the end of the show where everyone's all fired up.
Yeah, it's in the middle of In This Diary, and people are trying to get into it.
What?
Oh, man.
What? Ugh. Oh, that is a hissy fit. That is bad. Jeez.
I came for cherry cokes and sing-alongs, and what's
Axl Rose never tried to slash his eyes out during a show.
See, yeah.
You say that, but we don't know what happened behind the scenes.
During the show. You know what? Backstage and on the road is one thing. On the show, during the performance, when the fans paid to get a ticket, that's what I'm talking about. The on-stage hissy fit. We don't know what happened. Axl probably did try to do some messed up stuff during the Chinese democracy days.
Well, you say all this. Here's the thing. And this is when I'm going to drift a little outside of rock for a second.
That's fine. Yeah.
Towards the country scene.
Okay.
Have you guys ever heard of the pop singer BB Rexha?
Yes, I've heard of BB.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I remember her being very not good.
Yeah.
Oh, she's not good.
I remember that too, actually.
Yeah. So what happened is I want to say late 2017, she teams up with Florida Georgia Line, and they get a single.
What?
And they get a single called "Meant to Be."
Oh, I have heard that. I've heard that.
They don't even play that at the dollar store anymore.
Well,
yeah.
here's
God. Yeah, last year. Yeah,
it was huge. It was one of the biggest songs of last year. It basically got to the top because of riding a lot of playlist payola. We've seen this happen before. It's gross. The problem is that BB Rexha has now got into her head that she is such hot shit.
Oh, dear.
She's partly right.
Fun. But the thing what happened is here's the thing that a lot of artists don't talk about is when they do the private benefit show. Like there's the shows that are like for like a conference or a little bit behind the scenes. It's not a concert, but you're not a big enough artist to like headline something like that. It's the small like behind the scenes stuff.
It's almost like a corporate gig that a stand-up comic might do or something. Yeah,
right. Exactly. She gets one of those. And let's be honest, like she, in my opinion, is not an A-list star. But apparently, there's now footage of her at one of these corporate gigs because the crowd's not giving her a lot of energy, and she's like, "Do you know who the fuck I am?" Like,
no,
yeah.
But she goes on this huge spiel of, "I'm not getting any energy from you. I am so big right now. You can't even grasp this. Like it is." Ooh. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, "You're doing this at a corporate gig."
Yeah,
that's weird.
They're only half paying attention to you anyway because they're negotiating business deals and networking. And I've had friends I've had stand-up comic friends who've done like they do the same thing for that too. Just a stand-up comic will come entertain like a company.
It's a good paycheck.
It's a good paycheck. But you walk into those gigs just knowing that the audience is probably only half listening, but they're paying me to be here. Even you're basically just living decorum at that stage, but it's a good paycheck. I don't blame people for doing it necessarily.
It's a good paycheck. It will probably help her in some way to recoup, like in terms of like building goodwill with the label, setting up connections. It's the sort of thing. It's not glamorous. And for a pop star, I can see that driving her absolutely budfuck crazy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I'm like, if you want to guarantee that nobody's calling you back about that sophomore album, especially when the debut was crap, like,
that is a nice, easy, cushy paycheck. You could have phoned that show in and you could have counted on that paycheck for like 3 to 5 years in a row. If you just kept your mouth shut, kept a low profile.
That also at least would have given the chance to get future work at those events later.
Exactly.
And now they're done. They're done.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So hissy fits are not specific to rock, metal. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Although the fun thing, and to flip this back around, like I've gone to grindcore shows where the singer will get into the crowd.
Yeah.
It will actually be aggressive there. Like, and it's the sort of thing, like, if you can get into the right genre and the right mindset, it can be a real communal experience, and that can be a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely. Like, pretty much any Cannibal Corpse show I've been to has been a lot like that. Like, I don't know, I say you don't see it a lot in metal, but like a lot of the like smaller or more aggro sort of metal scenes, it's such a communal thing. There's such a, everyone's having such a good time. Usually it's not, it doesn't really become an issue. You really see this happen in the genres that are like supposed to be popular or, really high sheen or high production, it's the people that are the people that aren't, playing for you, the people that are putting on a show. When you're putting on a show, it's so much more work than just, going up and just playing for a bunch of, buds or acquaintances or whatever. When you're throwing a character, when you're throwing a sense of performance into it, it changes the dynamic a lot. And
what, you say that, but the fun thing is that I actually saw Eric Church last weekend. He's more in the country rock side. I honestly think, Crash, you'd probably really like his stuff.
I've actually caught some Eric Church here and there. I do enjoy what I've heard.
The fun thing at his show, he has no opening act. He'll play for 3 hours. And the one thing that I kind of admire, he's got one song called Jack Daniels, and he'll just riff through half the song. And then for most of the instrumental, he'll go back behind the scenes, get a couple bottles of Jack, and will start serving shots to people.
Oh, see, that's cool.
I don't think I've seen that where they've been a bartender at their own show. That's pretty impressive.
I mean, if you want to foster a relationship with your fan base, I mean,
that'll do it.
And get probably the best like brand endorsement check you're gonna get like immediately then.
Right.
Because he's getting a bag for that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. See, they're going to be... See, the thing is, that's an excellent story, too. Everybody who took a shot that night is bringing 10 people with them to the next time he brings to that town.
And he sold out 2 shows in Toronto.
Nice.
Yeah.
2 arena shows.
Yeah.
That's also like a great moment for people at that show, even if they don't drink, whatever, to actually see that. Because you rarely see interaction like that from bands to that level. Even if you see like the up and coming rock bands, the touring rock bands, like they'll do autographs after the show for free if you like at the merch and stuff, just meet and greet and stuff if you want, but nothing to that level.
Yeah. See, that's something special. That's something unique. Not every artist is even capable of giving you that, So the ones that really can and really make it feel that much more magical, that's something special. That is something genuinely unique.
I would not let Aaron Lewis pour me a drink.
Yes!
Heck no.
I don't know what's in that drink.
Yeah, exactly. Because that means Aaron Lewis prepared it himself, and I do not want to know what he thinks, makes him get to that state.
Oh, it's probably just like a Monster energy drink and like Pabst, some kind of horror, some kind of horror creation that's
watered down stale beer and Monster because he's trying to get the 5-Figure Death Punch crowd to care about him now.
But he's in a country show, like that wouldn't happen.
I think you say that, but there's like he's saying like Stained might be making a comeback.
You know what? You say that, and here's the thing. I was at a country bar for karaoke last night, and then you ever realize you go to a karaoke bar and you realize, oh shit, I'm old? Basically,
Yes.
the crowd was, and I wish I had known this before going, the crowd, since it's spring break in the States right now,
Yep.
a bunch of people came up from Ohio and basically like, we're going to go to a country bar. We're like 19, 20 years old, and we're going to bounce around to every single song. And I'm like, oh, God.
Boy.
So I'm going to sing Sturgill Simpson and like stuff that you guys can't bounce around to because I'm just going to do that.
Yeah. Nice. Smart.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Drunk spring break to Canada. Nice.
You know what? To be fair, at least one of them probably did Body Like a Back Road. Am I right?
Oh, yeah. It happened.
Yeah. Am I right?
Yeah.
See? Okay, that's fair penance. That is
Good call.
fair penance for making the crowd suffer through that. Oh.
Yeah. Good call. Well, I think we've had enough talk about hissy fits and the unfortunate side of rock star behavior, even though we've gone out of rock a little bit, but still, I think that's a good way to put it. Another thing I want to talk about, because this has been really good discussion. We are hopefully all going to meet up at Sonic Temple, and that's one of the better festivals. That's hopeful. I know tickets are expensive, things like that are going on. I'm hoping all of us, including John from ARTV, can find a way, get some money, drive up there and see the festival.
We are currently in the midst of hammering that out, so
we're trying to. That's one of the cool things that's happening now. Sonic Temple, run by DWP, actually has a lot going for it now. This year has a variety of sound and bands, and actually has some old and new, from Judas Priest all the way to Fever 333, for example, because I brought them up earlier. So they actually do have quite a bit of variety, and then they have Foo Fighters and System of a Down headlining. So what are your guys' thoughts, and be honest, of the lineup overall from Sonic Temple? Who are some of the bands you're looking forward to the most?
Let me just pull up the lineup just so I'm...
Sure, go ahead and pull it up right now.
Actually, that's not a bad idea, actually.
You guys go ahead and pull it up both, because it's 3 days, takes place in Columbus, Ohio. This used to be known as Rock on the Range before the brand changing. For those of you who have been there, it's been going on for about 10 years. It's where the Columbus Major League Soccer team plays. It's in the Major League Soccer arena there. I've never been to Ohio.
Okay.
I've been warned about Ohio, but I'm assuming it's totally worth it to go to Ohio for this. So I'm totally worth it for that. I'm totally for it if that's the case.
All right, I'm looking at the lineup right now. Start with Friday.
Yes.
I don't care about System of a Down.
Okay.
Sacrilege.
I do. I personally do, but I get that.
I get that. It's fine. It's fine. I just don't have any respect for you anymore. It's okay.
I'm going to see Ghost instead.
Okay.
Hailstorm.
They probably won't be playing at the same time.
They won't be. No way they'll be playing at the same time.
Yeah.
But that will be a great show. Oh my god, Ghost always brings it.
Hailstorm. You know what? Hailstorm probably. You've seen them before a couple times.
Many times. They are so much better live than on album. I cannot stress that. I cannot stress that enough. Yeah.
What about Meshuggah? Can they play the way they do on album?
I've seen them once. To be honest, it's not bad, but except that was a couple years ago. So I'm curious to see how that translates out again, because that was like day 3 of a festival back in 2017, and I heard a couple songs, but I can't really answer that question great, because I haven't heard everything from Meshuggah, and it's more of just a let's have fun and shred type performance.
From what I've heard about Meshuggah, it kind of depends on what day you catch them.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Okay, next up is Tom Morello.
Yep, I want to see what he does. We're not getting a Rage Against the Machine or Audio Slave remake ever again. So let's see what Tom Morello can do, because it's going to be better than Prophets of Rage.
Tom Morello is actually booked on the spoken word tent and the actual show. So
yeah, he's going to do that too, because they have a spoken word tent for comedy and a few other things. Like Henry Rollins is going to be there and other stuff.
Honestly, they should have just kept Henry Rollins in there and nobody else.
Yeah,
let him talk for 2 hours.
Nobody.
8 hours.
Yeah. 8. Oh, Henry can go, man. Yep. I've been to his live show. He can go, man. He can talk. He could talk for a week and not pause for breath. Oh my god, It's wonderful.
Parkway Drive. I'm not hugely familiar with them.
I keep hearing mixed things, because I've seen them live at a non-festival and they were okay. I keep hearing, though, they bring out the big guns for festivals. I mean, they really put on a performance, so I do want to see them.
Their last few albums were pretty solid, so at least in my opinion. So I bet that's a good show if they're bringing the good stuff.
Do you think Beartooth will go well?
I've seen Beartooth a few times. I mean, people love their live show because they do get into it. I like Beartooth fine. I'm just not a fanatic about their music like many other people. I want to hear, it's just the same stuff over and over again after a while for me.
The Beartooth fans will get a hell of a lot of show, if absolutely nothing else.
Yeah.
That's true. Black Label Society, I'd like to, honestly, the Black Label Society stuff, I'm not crazy about the band as a whole, but I wouldn't mind just going to, the back and chilling if they play a couple good ballads.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Some of their slower stuff is very, very...
Definitely.
Pussy Riot I want to see, because that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Avatar, I don't know.
I love Avatar. They're the Swedish band with a clown, where he says, the cloud lead singer. It's they've had a few albums out now. I love them. They are more traditional metal, and they'll get wild. The guitarist is the theme of the latest album is Avatar Country. The guitarist is a king on a throne. It's great stuff. Yeah,
their live shows are definitely something you want to catch. Yeah.
I've heard good things about Bad Wolves.
Same here.
I did see them live this past summer. They do sound good. They actually do put on a really good show. They play their heavier stuff too at the live shows. Nice. The more moving stuff. They do the zombie cover. That will happen.
Of course.
Yeah.
Let's see what else here. We got Bad Flower.
Bad Flower should be pretty good. I haven't really heard them live yet, but their new debut is fairly solid.
I'm worried about Zeal and Ardor, if only because you and I both covered the album Crash.
Yes,
and you liked it a hell of a lot more than I did. Reasons aside,
yeah.
I'm curious how well that translates live
to a festival crowd too. I'm not exactly Zeal and Ardor is more. I would want to see Zeal and Ardor with 2 or 3 other. I want to see Zeal and Ardor with Death Heaven.
Yeah, and
one other similar band. I don't know.
Because that's the tour. That's the tour going on right now. Death Heaven, Baroness.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Ardor. I would kill for that show.
That's
not coming anywhere near me.
That's when I'd want to see Zeal and Ardor. Seeing Zeal and Ardor in the middle of the day with a bunch of other shows. They'll probably only play for 50 minutes an hour or whatever. Now, I don't know if that should be anyone's first Zeal and Ardor experience, personally.
I kind of agree with that. Then the next line, I don't recognize any of the bands except for Horror, which is the HO9909.
Yeah.
They're a
rap rock.
They're a rap rock Death Grips wannabe group. I'd be curious how well they'd show live beyond that.
Yeah. Unfamiliar with them to really make a call, but I'm not going to cross them off.
I will say that I've actually done some work on Wage War.
I have too.
They're pretty solid.
I've seen them live. They actually do put on a good show.
Yeah, they'll probably put on a hell of a show. But I don't really recognize. I mean, I recognize Hands Like Houses, but I'm not huge on them. And
I like Hands Like Houses. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Saturday.
Yeah.
Do we want to Disturbed?
Okay, so that's closing out the night, and from what I understand, they are playing a lot of new material.
See,
so going to bed early.
Going to bed, yeah.
It's called beating traffic early, sir. That's the whole point. But honestly, I am going to shoot Disturbed the first 3 songs, but after that, I might be okay, that's enough. He's busting out the acoustic guitar. Okay.
Yeah, if they're playing once they start the stuff from Evolution, you get that's when you head towards the car. That's when the show unofficially ends, personally.
How many people do you think will have the exact same idea?
Probably a lot.
It's okay. You know what? No, you know what? Depending on when we leave, we'll be fine. It'll be fine, guys. It'll be fine. I do not hate Disturbed by any means either. It's I'm not interested in seeing the new stuff played live after 3 songs. So
the new album especially was just not.
I was disappointed. I was disappointed in the new album.
I didn't cover it, so
I heard it, and I was like, I don't want to have to put in work to make a video for this.
I actually did write a script for a quickie episode on that, but I actually wanted to do something else. I threw up a fan poll to see if what they wanted me to do, and even they said, talk about something else. We don't care about Disturbed. It's like, oh, thank God. Oh,
yep.
Okay. Papa Roach.
I've seen them live so many times.
They're plugging in for Prodigy.
Yes, correct. Because the
Yes,
unfortunate
of course,
news about
they-
the Prodigy with Keith.
Yeah.
And that's awful, but
I mean,
that's
that's a
that's a different discussion. And good for Papa
Yeah.
Roach for stepping in, too.
Exactly.
Papa Roach, I mean, Jacoby Shaddix, like, he is the type of guy that goes out into the crowd. He makes sure everyone else has a good time. That I will not take away from Papa Roach.
Yeah, absolutely. But we also have the Disturbed problem, kinda, in that they're promoting an album.
That's not
It's
fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have not heard it all the way through, but they are playing the crap radio.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lamb of God. I think this is the one
100%.
where
Yeah.
you guys all have to drag me there to make sure you're flipping me on this band.
Don't
Yes.
worry. I will
It will
totally
be worth
drag
it.
you to this one. Yes.
On the flip side, I will do the same with all you guys for the cult.
Okay, dude, you don't
I've
have
seen
to.
the
you
cult.
don't-
I've seen the cult live. That's
Dude,
fine.
I remember Firewoman. You don't have to drag
Yeah.
me anyway.
That's totally fine. Totally, you got a deal for that. The cult and Lamb of God. You've sold all of us.
All right, in this moment,
Yes, because they put on a great live show. That's a photographer's dream for me because she changes outfit every song.
really?
Really?
She has a little booth and she has assistants in this little booth behind her. The guitarists are fantastic. Each song is a spectacle. They have dancers with them on stage. It's awesome.
Damn.
Okay, that's good to
Sounds
Yes.
cool.
hear. Gojira. Yeah, duh.
Yeah,
Absolutely. You have
I've never seen them live, and I'm so excited for
Ooh,
that.
dude.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, that's going to be transcendent. They are
Honestly,
amazing live.
Honestly, I'm excited for Action Bronson. Even though I'm not a crazy fan of his music, I think that the show will be pretty chill.
Okay, you say that. I saw Action Bronson. I didn't shoot it just because I was so busy at Aftershock last year in October. He was on something. Booze, another substance. He was out of this world.
He was on the action.
He had the action. People loved it though. So you know what?
Well, he's got a fan base. It's a cult
Exactly.
fan base.
Yes, for sure.
Can I skip Kill Switch?
I won't.
I won't skip Kill Switch, but as long as you come to Lamb of God, you can skip Kill Switch. But
I'm gonna get
going
that's a band for me because I want to get the first
Yeah.
3 songs to shoot. If I do get the photographer's pass, then the photo pass, then I do want to get the 3 songs, and then I can head out. But
Totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Architects from
Yep.
off the last
Yeah.
album, of course. Yeah.
100%. I'll be at Welcome to Rockville this year, and they'll be at that one also. Yeah, 100%
Yeah.
after that latest album.
Same
Fever
here.
333. You guys are roping me in on.
Yes,
oh,
you,
no,
you,
dude,
you will
here's-
be blown away by the live show.
Here's the thing: we'll rope you into the show, and then the singer, his name is escaping me.
Aaron Butler.
Yeah, Aaron, and then Aaron Butler will rope you around the stage. That dude
Yes.
gets into his performances. Like,
Like,
look up live footage.
He jumps into the crowd head first. Like he will rile the crowd up himself.
Oh yeah, dude climbs scaffoldings.
Yep.
And, like all over. He's crowd. The dude is rap rock Spider-Man. I love it.
Yes, that is actually pretty accurate.
On the exact opposite side, we have the Mark Lanegan band. I'm familiar with Mark Lanegan because he's in the indie goth rock sort of scene.
I know the name.
He had a featuring credit on the last Nico Case album that I really loved, but it's another chill show. Like, I think that's going to be one of those ones I'm just going to go off to the side, just like veg.
Yeah. Same.
And I know, Crash, you're crazy about the Black Dahlia murder, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to that show with bells on, dude. Yeah, I'm all about that Black Dahlia.
Fair
It'll
enough.
be very similar to every other Black Dahlia before, but man, that's what I want. I ain't gonna complain. I am not even gonna slightly complain.
What about Don Bracco?
Some of these
I've
some of
heard
these
they're
I'm not-
okay live.
Yeah. I'm not against some of these live. I'm just saying I don't know if I would go out of my way if I have to do interviews in the meantime or stuff like that.
I actually caught their last album. I actually reviewed it. It was okay, but it didn't set my world on fire necessarily. They seem like a solid enough band. Their place in the lineup seems about right. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
Most of the ones on the bottom, they seem more on the pop punky side, like Issue and Boston Manor and.
Yeah, that's.
I know John's a big fan of Boston Manor too, so that I've never seen it.
So am I. Their last album was really, really good. So I'll definitely be on board for the Boston Manor show for sure.
Gotcha. Okay. And then day 3.
And of course, well, no, of course, day 2 doesn't really end until we've all caught the one, the only Andrew Dice Clay.
Oh. Is
Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet. I can't pay my student loans. Oh! I need the money. Oh!
We're going to hear him shouting over architects from a different stage.
That makes me sad. Don't say that.
That makes me so sad. No!
It's very possible. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Oh.
Day 3. Foo Fighters, duh.
Yes, 100%. I just saw them live last year at Welcome to Rockville. They were so much fun.
Yeah, you gotta catch Foo Fighters when they're in town. Simple as that.
I've seen Bring Me the Horizon before. They're really good.
They put on a wonderful live show.
And I actually heard like they are playing a lot of their newer stuff, but the newer stuff fun live is what I'm hearing.
It is. I heard a couple of their new songs live when I saw them last year, and they played well. They played let me say this. They played less overproduced than they did on the album.
Okay, that makes me feel better about it too.
That's an improvement for sure.
Yeah.
I'm a little concerned to see that Joan Jett is still playing.
I am too, but she's been doing the festival scene for a while now. She doesn't allow photographers. She just like does her thing, and you know what? That's fine. I don't know how it's going to turn out though.
She's got to be getting pretty up there, isn't she?
I want to say 60s.
Yeah.
That's not terrible. As long as she's still able to move around and stuff. Hey, if Ozzy can do it at 70, you know what?
True.
I mean,
you're
touche.
right.
Touche.
But didn't Ozzy say he was going to retire soon?
Oh, Ozzy always says that.
10 years ago. 10 years ago. Yes, he did say that 10 years ago.
Ozzy's retirements are like pro wrestling retirements. They don't happen.
Now, I remember, Crash, you got a little bit more into Chevelle recently. So
I did. Their
their
newer stuff has actually been surprisingly good. For those of we were lamenting so hard about the Tool album earlier in the episode. The new Chevelle stuff almost kind of sort of fills the Tool void. They are making very Toolish, kind of heavy, like very sort of out there.
They also have a new album coming out this year too. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. I'm in the same boat as Crash. I've seen Chevelle live several times. They're great. They sound great.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
They're one of those bands where if you've only heard like The Red or Send the Pain Below, you might write them off. But like,
listen to the new stuff. Yeah,
listen to the new stuff. They've been staying active and they got good. They definitely had a glow up. This band.
That's an interesting way to describe Chevelle.
Yeah, Chevelle totally had a glow up. They did.
I would also like to point out, sorry to interrupt, Chevelle is going on a big amphitheater tour this year with Crash's favorite band, Breaking Benjamin. Okay, let's continue now with Sonic Temple.
The Hives.
I'm surprised they're coming back. I'm down. I'm down to check it out. I just think it's interesting they're coming back like this.
I mean,
it's always a little bit surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't complain. Hey, I love the hell out of Hate to Say. I'll be in the pit.
I'm not familiar with the Distillers.
I remember. Oh yeah, the female lead singer. She sounds great. I think that's their big comeback too.
Yeah, this is Brody Dale.
Yep.
Like they were big in like the early 2000s punk scene.
They had a big, like, huge boom, like, of popularity, like, really fast, and then the band broke up.
Oof. Yeah,
that's everything.
And their story, it's a kind of a tragic story because it was label bullshit and relationship bullshit and all kinds of stuff that wasn't her and the band's fault.
And she's got a raw, natural, gritty voice too. That's a lot of fun. Yeah. She's great. So that's one that you do want to check out to see for like just the novelty of seeing this band again.
That'll be a great one to catch. I think. Like I say, I don't know how long we're gonna have Distillers with us necessarily. So this is definitely one to catch.
Agreed.
All right, Scars on Broadway. I don't know this band.
I do not either.
They are actually Darren from. Actually, Mark, you won't like this because Darren from System of a Down. This is his side project. It's some people really like them, but from what I've heard, it's kind of meandering. It's kind of boring. It sounds very 2004 kind of post-grunge-ish rock. Like I say, there's an audience for it. There's an audience for it, and it's not terrible for what it is, but I'm definitely not going to be singing. I'm not the guy to be up here singing a lot of their praises necessarily. If the Struts or Refused is playing during that set, I'll probably be over at that tent.
Oh, I'm going to be at the Struts regardless because the Struts are on a hot streak right now, which I'm really excited about. And this is just the possible hope that if they get Kesha to come up.
Oh, really?
If they're looking for a surprise.
Sonic Temple is the biggest rock festival in the States. Like that DWB puts on every year, like formerly Rock of the Range. So if there's a surprise, like a festival for surprises, this is the one.
And I can see her doing it. She's in between albums. She's just coming off the whole cruise thing, which she did. She's got a song with the Struts, and she has a couple rock songs of her own to play a set. It's possible.
I'd be down for that. Yeah,
I'd be down and a half for that personally. Yeah,
because I've seen Kesha live and she's fantastic.
That's what I've heard. Yeah, so I'm down to see the Struts anyway because I've never seen them live and I want to.
Refused.
Refused is really, really banger. I love Refused. Go ahead. I don't even know how I would describe Refused to anyone.
I've only heard like one or two songs, and that's very a while ago, so I can't really put my 2 cents in.
Right? Like hardcore punk?
More hardcore.
They're punk, but they're very eclectic. They integrate tons of like thrash and like lots of like sort of African rhythms. They're a punk band that'll throw absolutely anything into the soup, but they'll somehow still make it work. Like their last handful of albums were absolutely transcendent. Refused is definitely a band to catch if you can. I'm almost surprised they're as low as they are on this particular lineup, but I also get they're not like they're not like huge. Foo Fighters. They're not like they're definitely an underground band, but they're an underground band that fucking rules. I will definitely catch Refused, whatever stage. If Kesha shows up during the Struts' set, I might have to just run over really quick and catch the last few minutes of it. But
sometimes that happens too, and they put out the band schedule, the stage schedule about 3 weeks or so before the actual festival.
I will vouch for Refused, though. That is a show worth catching.
I don't know the Interrupters.
I do.
The Interrupters are ska punk, I believe, right?
Yep, they're actually pretty good. They got a song called Kerosene. That was all over radio. I think they're touring with maybe Newfound Glory. I don't remember who they're touring with, but they're touring with someone right now. And they're a fun band. Like they're definitely more ska punk.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna be. I've been in skag pits before. I'm not sure I want to get in one of those again. I'm too old.
We could stand stand in the back. We could stand in the back. We don't have to be around all of it.
That's Mark. I have to. Can you skank? I have to see you skank if you can skank.
Oh yeah, we need that. I need that for video because I'm going to be making a video.
We need footage of you skanking, dude.
Yeah, that's going to have to happen.
No, I remember going to the El Scarlet show like a decade ago, and I was able to. So
okay.
Palais Royale.
I know them. They're fashion rock is how they're described. They were Aftershock a year and a half ago. They have one good new song. I don't remember the name of it, but that's all I can really vouch for. I'm not thrilled. Like I'm not over the top with them, but I don't hate them. They're just kind of there.
I'm about the same. I mean, they're called fashion rock, so whatever your opinion of that term is going to be is about what you're going to get out of that show. So,
would you consider like Adam Ant's like fashion rock?
It's weird because Palais Royale like describes fashion rock. They play like the live Victoria's Secret fall season collection live performances and stuff like that. They actually do fashion live clothing shows.
So,
that's weird.
It's part of the gimmick.
On the flip side, I'm going to the Glorious Sons and I'm taking everyone with me.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
I've seen them live. I want to interview them. So that's one band I want to talk to.
No, that's a band. I've been a fan of these guys since 2014. They had a song called Heavy that was my favorite song of like 2014. Song. Great song. They're more in the post-grungy. They're post-grunge, but they're a little bit more aggressive with it.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're a lot of fun.
They have the new song Sawed Off Shotgun that did really well this past year.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Say, I'm unfamiliar with them, so this will be an experience.
Black Pistol Fire? I don't know that.
I don't know
ring a bell. No.
I guess the last line there, the one that I keep hearing things about the Scar-Lord.
I've never heard of them. I hear a lot of things about Teenage Wrist, personally, but I haven't heard them myself either.
I'm the same with Teenage Wrist. I know the name, but I don't know the actual music. So
yeah.
Apparently, there's a Scarlord album. I want to say it's dropping not this upcoming week, but the week after. I got a lot of requests to cover them last year when they put out a project. I'm curious about them. I don't know what I'm getting into with them. But of course, we have to end it all properly with Pauly Shore.
Oh,
yeah.
dude.
No,
I'm gonna get that motherfucker to sign my Biodome DVD. It'll be the best show ever.
You have they put Biodome on DVD?
They shouldn't have, but they did.
They
on 4K. On 4K.
Yeah, that's on 4K Ultra.
Oh my gosh. Hey, you know what? If he does a stand-up career, if he's doing fine with it, God bless him. I don't know how he fits with the rest of the people that's doing the stand-up stuff, but hey, you know what? I'm not going to miss a good band or interview or photo op, like chance to photograph a band. But if for some reason everyone else wants to go and we're not hungry, we don't get to go to the food trucks, and there's no other bands playing, and I don't have to interview anyone.
We'll give you mushrooms. You can like bliss out like comfortably on the grass.
I'm not going to Scott Stapp in front of Pauly Shore. That doesn't sound like a good trip at
I'm not saying in
all.
front of Pauly Shore. We're talking about outside the venue.
First of all, it's at the MLS park, so it's not going to be grass. It'll they have rubber matting over it.
Okay, so you'll bliss out on the AstroTurf then.
There you go. Yeah. Also, I'm allergic to grass pretty bad, so you'd have the fun game of you'd have to leave early to cancel Disturbed to take Luke to the hospital.
Oof.
Okay.
Sorry, our friend's sick. We have to go.
Actually, if anything, that's our reason to bail.
Yeah.
If we need an excuse, we'll push you into a clearing, and then
it's good to have friends. It's good to have friends.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
Anyway, but we talk about Sonic Temple, this is a solid 3 days. I mean,
absolutely.
Even though we talk about some bands we're not as excited for, there are many bands every day that we are over the moon about.
And I gotta be honest, there's acts on this list I'm just curious about.
Right?
Same
exactly.
Same here. Lots of stuff I've been meaning to catch, but haven't gotten around to. So,
and what's cool too, there's so much to do. I mean, they have every merch stand and thing you can imagine, the big Ferris wheel. They have tons of other stuff, and all the vendors. There's a lot going on. So,
yeah, overall, this is a very well stuffed lineup. You know, this would be a very hard to top. It's hard for me to think of too many other acts I'd want to see necessarily, reasonably, at least.
Right. I gotcha.
Like if Tool could play all 3 nights, I'd be down for that. But
they played last year, so.
Oh, did they? Oh, wow.
They were at Rock on the Range last year, so yeah.
Oh, nice.
They're playing Welcome to Rockville this year, the festival I'm going to in Florida 2 weeks prior. So I'm really hopeful to see that. I'm hoping to shoot it. So that's the thing. Yeah. To catch that, to see the rare unicorn Maynard James Keenan actually in lights and not hiding, and get a photograph of him. Anyway, this has been a great discussion. I'm glad we were able to talk about specifically to end everything out on, because if you're there, if we all get to go, we're going to let everyone know. John also too from ARTV, Hannah from Infinity on Hannah. If we all get to go, we're all going to be together. We'll be doing a lot of different stuff together too.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure things out with tickets and travel and stuff like that. But we still got time. Hopefully it all works out. Guys, thank you again for really coming on here. Please plug what you have coming up on your YouTube channels and plug your own channels as well. Mark, go ahead.
Sure. I don't have any reviews coming tonight, but probably tomorrow night I've got the Shoo Shoo review. They're an experimental noise rock thing. The most thing I will say about it is that the review is 16 minutes long, uncut.
Oof.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I had a lot to say.
That could either be a very good thing or very.
A lot of stuff on my docket coming up recently is a lot of hip hop. So I got the Blue and Oh No project. I got the Little Sims project. I've got a side project of Uncommon NASA that's coming out, and one that we might know about, the Karen O Danger Mouse collaboration.
That's
right.
Crazy. Yeah,
I forgot all about that. Yeah, that's totally a thing, isn't it?
It's pretty much the only big album dropping next week. So
yeah,
I'm excited for that. And one more thing that I'd like to promote. Coming up in the next couple of weeks, I've got, let's just say, the first of a video essay format that I've been working on for the past little while. Suffice to say, it's a bit of a different. Take my special comments that I used to do and pump them up on steroids. I'm going to be doing some fun. I'm doing some fun stuff.
Awesome.
Interesting.
Very awesome. Crash, go ahead. What do you have coming up?
I am actually working to have, if not, I'm actually very close to finished. If it should either be out for patrons on Friday or Saturday, depending on when this podcast goes out. It might already be out. But I'm working on the newest episode of my series, I Love This Song, where I just talk on and go crazy in depth about one specific song that I really, really like. This episode is on Blues Traveler's Hook.
Nice.
Say it's a song that doesn't get a lot of love these days, but definitely deserves more insight. I feel at least it's one of my favorite. Well, like I say, I love this song.
Very good.
I spend about 40 minutes on it, but trust me.
Okay.
Well,
On one song.
Yep.
I break it down pretty thoroughly here. When it comes to a song like Hook, it gives me a lot to say. And to be fair, I'm not even covering every single thing I could be covering. So
I'd rather hear you talk like for that long about a good song and that you're happy about than have to spend 40 minutes on AJR.
Oh, dude, me too. Too.
There you go.
Yeah, no, that's...
See, I have your guys' back. Why are you trying to push me in the grass to get out of Disturbed?
It's for your own good.
Oh, is it now? My own good. Okay, got it.
Luke, it toughens character.
Yeah. Oh, I'll be throwing up character all over the place at that point. So everyone's aware, either this Sunday or Monday, I will have the top 10 best comedy bands video coming out. This is a list that is going to have all your favorites on there. However, the number one might surprise you, so stay tuned for that. I also have some album reviews coming out. Next week, I will have the new album review on Devin Townsend's album Empath.
Nice.
I didn't think that was dropping until the 29th.
That's right, the 29th, the next weekend. Sorry, excuse me. So I'll make the review, but it'll come out the 29th. I also have Periphery's new album, Hail Stan, which is Periphery 5. That'll be coming out the following week, which is a great title, by the way, Hail Stan.
Yeah. That's a very Periphery title.
Exactly.
Yep.
So those will be the two album reviews I have coming out, along with top 10 best comedy bands. I also will be bringing back Billboard Gets Rocked at a quarterly basis, meaning I'm going to do it every 3 months. So that way I always have new songs to talk about on the top 10 best Billboard mainstream rock songs instead of doing it every month. And I have to keep talking about Godsmack, Bulletproof every month for a year. No more of that.
Oof.
No more.
You poor soul.
It got old. It wore me down. But at the
You were only doing that series once a couple weeks?
Every month. I did it like the first week of every month. So like I would cap it off saying, these are the top 10 songs on Billboard's Mainstream Rock Chart at the end of March, at the end of April, at the end of May. So that way I'd have something for refreshing, enough changes. But after a while, it just got old and the views were stagnating. I want to bring it back, though, to see if I can do it every quarter. So that way I have new songs to talk about every time.
See, you say that, but you know that the Godsmack's going to last for like 6 months at a time.
Okay, I don't think there are any more new Godsmack songs outside of this last one to come from this album, and I think that should last long enough. So, you know what? New Baroness, and I'll trade Baroness and do Billboard Gets Rocked so long as I don't have to talk about Bulletproof again.
There you go.
That song is embedded in my cerebellum forever. And I don't even hate Godsmack. And that song just drove me up the wall. I don't know. That's just me. So anyway, thank you guys again. You can find their YouTube channels in the descriptions below. Spectrum Pulse, The Rock Critic. My name's Luke Spencer. Thank you for listening. Don't throw a hissy fit like Aaron Lewis.